And we know that one institution that has been very much on the neck of the Electoral Commission over the years has been IMANI Africa. We will soon be speaking to the founding president, chief executive for IMANI Africa, Franklin Cudjoe, to get his latest view on the posture of the Electoral Commission, and then ideally what needs to be done by either listening to the NDC or not. Franklin Cudjoe, good morning to you. You take a look at the position of the Electoral Commission and then vis-a-vis the position of the NDC as well. Where do we find the middle ground?
Well, I think the only middle ground, good morning, by the way. Sorry, we all kept waiting for each other. First of all, let me just say that the only middle ground really is for common sense to prevail. And by common sense, I mean even the ruling government itself, I suspect. And I've been asking myself, is it only the NDC who are affected by these rather deliberate attempts to disenfranchise some people? I suspect the NPP must be concerned as well, but well, maybe they are not concerned. Maybe they've seen it, they've seen what it is. So I'm asking that the common sense should prevail by making sure that all those who need to speak, and on this matter, I think Parliament should have the last word. Because you see, time without number, we are dealing with an EC that is they're just out of this world. I mean, I've used all the adjectives I could use, and I'm being charitable here, my brother. Look, this is the EC, and my personal experience is for what I'll suggest people should take, and they should be very careful when the EC tells you that trust us. You know, on November 30th, I sent my chiefs to go and see Mensa because we were alarmed that we were going to be disenfranchised. I'm talking about SAR. Oh, she met with them and I assured them that, oh, nothing will happen. And later we spoke, so oh, our chiefs were very well behaved and nothing is going to happen. The Samateti, the gentleman involved recently talking about plants and animals, issued a statement on 6th December, actually issued a statement, I think a day after my chiefs had met Mensa, and said the same thing, oh, don't worry, you all vote in your mother constituency, because they knew what had happened, right? Then 5 days later, issued a statement midnight, a day to the elections, and said your people cannot vote for an MP. Now I kept asking questions. Well, she never bothered to even answer us. She took herself off all our CSO platforms, and that was the end of having any civil conversations with her. So if this person later comes and tells you that look north, you should be looking south really. In the intervening period, we all know what they've done. Procurement issues here and there. People do not understand. Look, when we were shouting before the 2020 elections that these guys are procuring expensive equipment that may not actually do the job properly, people thought we were fooling ourselves. Now the chickens have come home to roost. Sometimes when the civil society act takes up an issue, you all should not sit on the sidelines and watch them burn alone. Because one way or the other, you come back to the same issue and realize that they were really right. So for me, look, it's a combination of incompetence, what is happening, and I'm pretty sure that their machines are failing them. The very machines they claim that were super tight, watertight, and the reasons why they needed to throw away perfectly working machines, over 3,500 of them that we had purchased in 2019 2018, threw all of them away, they claim, and use fresh money from the taxpayer to go and procure these expensive equipment, which we have not tested properly. Now, it looks as if that may be failing them. Some of them are also getting stolen. You remember they recently burnt a number of them. We didn't know how they burnt them. They claimed they sold them to some people, auctioned them. We didn't know how the auction process went. Those are the matters we took to the shroud. So look, we don't hate people. Think we hate people. I mean, I hear all kind of funny things. Mensa was my boss at the IEA. If there's nothing at all, she trained me in how to manage a think tank. And I'm sure the verdict is out there for everybody to see. I don't hate her at all. I rather detest the incompetence and the deliberate lies, obfuscation, and fraudulent activities that her commission has been dogged with. I don't know how the president managed to assemble these frontline commissioners. It's really. You listen to them on TV and radio, and sometimes you want to puke. I remember on Saturday, I was watching them. One of the guys clowning himself on the Alfred show, and then later I went to watch Key Point. Then I later switched TV channels and watched the other guy on Joy, and it was just a clown festival. You know, all these people think we are stupid. And then I sat back and asked myself, maybe it's a perfect strategy. that they will clown themselves on national TV and radio, and then make us all look like we are stupid and they are otherwise. Because otherwise, how do you really detest something like this? You claim your register is clean. You accept the fact that the NDC tells you that 3 or 4 of the issues you have identified them, which are grave issues by the way, and they said then conduct an audit. I don't know. I may have been the person spreading the news about Mensa issuing a statement, a communique in 2015, because I posted it this around 4 a.m.
Yeah.
And I saw a story from Daily Guide, and I posted the entire story. And I was mortified when reading through the statement, and I was mortified to know that Jim, my own boss, was actually gung-ho on making sure that the register was clean, and actually accepted that, look, there must be an audit, because an audit is worth saving 1,000 lives, right? So what would have changed, really? And, you know, maybe for me, I think the reason why they don't want people to look into the register, it looks as if the issues, the problems are actually more magnified than the NDC may have actually identified. So that's why I see the fear is that if you don't take care, there will be a total overhauling of the entire process.
Now, Franklin, it is the actions of the Electoral Commission that keeps many, not only the media, but also civil society and the key political stakeholders quite frightened. Because you look at it technologically, protocols have been breached. An official uses an entry password as well as key protocols to be able to make inventory into a data system. Then you also find before this very incident, officials denying that biometric verification machines used to capture data is missing, then subsequently found in the hands of miscreants. Clearly, there has been some level of irresponsibility on the part of the Electoral Commission. That keeps everybody frightening, questioning how transparent and fair this election is going to be.
You know, without a doubt, really. I mean, look, a combination of factors you just related tell you clearly that this is a very incompetent Electoral Commission. You see, it looks to me that they are so incompetent that, as I'm telling you, that at least the problems are more magnified than we actually are dealing with. So my fear is that, or their fear is that they expose themselves, they allow themselves to be audited. We may find other things that we may actually be surprised at. So the incidents you narrate are perfect. I mean, how do you say BVR machines are missing? I remember when we shared those rare pictures with you guys where we showed people they had thrown away all these BVDs that they claimed they were auctioned. We took pictures and brought to the public and showed that they had disposed of all these machines, claiming they were obsolete. We don't know how they were auctioned. We don't know how how much they were auctioned for. We don't know who bought them. For us to now hear that some of them got missing under the watchful eyes of their cameras on the EC. And then recently, I think I saw a video, you must be referring to that. I think it was CTFM that showed that video where someone had a biometric machine. They're asking where you got it from. So this is an EC that unfortunately I am lost for words. And it hurts me so much that one person who should consider me her protege, Jane Mensa, who I still respect her. But I think that she's been so incompetent to the extent that she doesn't even allow herself to be purged. And that is the worry. So, and I don't know whether because she's shielded by I don't know whether it's the NPP that shielded her or the president that shielded her. It just beckons belief, really, that a few years ago, we were on the same page asking for the very thing that the NDC is asking for today. And you have even agreed that, look, 3 or 4 of the issues are actually right. But why am I not surprised? I'm telling you this, Roland, because I'm not surprised at all that she told me and my chiefs that, oh, don't worry, go back, go and sleep, when my chiefs were concerned that there were likely to be attempts for us to be disenfranchised. So don't worry, go and sleep. Actually told me, oh, your people were very well behaved and all of that, they will vote. And then 5-6 days later, they issued a facture that you can't vote. And you asked me to trust you? I won't. This is the EC that procured these biometric machines we are dealing with today, which are giving us problems. That procured the machines through a fraudulent process. You remember we told you guys when we found out the way they rigged the bid and made sure that the company that won the bid had lesser figures. When you combine all the various figures under each of the thematic areas, you actually get, I think, 96. But they rigged the thing and made it 106 of the company and made the second company that won, that should actually have won 102. That's how we found out that they rigged the process. To the extent that the chairman of the entity tender committee resigned and decided that he was not going to sign the entire fraudulent enterprise. We said it. So for me, look, you are talking probably to the wrong person who already has an issue with the EC. The issues are clear. People say we hate them. Why should I hate somebody? I'm not interested at all. I'm interested in saving the money.
The demonstration will take place, but let's say the Electoral Commission still stands by its position not to have an audit undertaken. What should be the next recourse, not only of the NDC, but key stakeholders like you, etc.?
Well, I think Parliament should be the last arbiter. And I think when Parliament says what it has to say, and I call on the majority leadership to actually see reason and prevent chaos at the polls, because that's what is likely to happen. I mean, imagine all these noise is not being made, and then you go to the poll and you realize that over 3,000 people can't find their names. Over 200,000 people cannot find their names. What are you trying to do? What are you trying to say? And I'm asking them, I'm talking directly now to the leadership of the NPP. Are they telling me and everybody else that we are all stupid, that all the things the NDC is saying, it only affects the NDC people? That might be some real magic anyway. So it will be irresponsible on the part of the leadership of the NPP to sit by and allow only a section of Ghanaians to be clamoring for the right thing. This is not this is not the same as the early elections. And even the early elections, we supported them in 2016, yes. And Charlotte is at pains with some of us because she thought that she was taking off lightly over procurement. In fact, the thing Charlotte did is just a fraction, the procurement issue. Just a fraction of all the sins and the very grave sins this EC has committed. Now, I will not hesitate at all to be the first person to petition whichever government comes into power to chuck them all out of the office and actually to investigate them for fraud and corruption. You know, it's really irritating me that to think that we are going to an election and the same group of friends who were in NPP, who were shouting loudest for which we supported them in 2016 against Charlotte, are today sitting by and graver wrongs are being committed. And they never said a word. The NPP never said a word about SAL. All my good friends, from the president to my majority leader, all the people I had who are called friends in the NPP, turned their back against us, SAL. Are you really good friends? And by the way, I don't care about being friends or not, but you should be the last people sitting by to watch this country burn. And I don't think they should be quiet at all. They should all speak now because these issues are grave. They should call for a proper audit. The president has said that he's asking the EC to be impartial. It goes beyond that. You know, the president says all sorts of things and nothing happens really. I don't know what, let me not digress. You know, so he's my good friend, by the way, but he knows now that we have decided to go. We are not going back to the days were good, because it disappointed me greatly. I think I want to talk directly to him that the last legacy he should leave is not an implosive country, an imploding country, but a country that is at peace with itself. He should ensure, call the EC and tell the EC, look, behave properly with their issues, deal with it nicely, and get it out of the way. But you know, like I said, I suspect that some other pastors should be talking to them as well. But this one, I don't know whether it's the evil spirit that is overtaking them. But I suspect as part of this evil spirit is the fact that we will be finding more various, very damning things they don't want us to know. That's my hunch, actually. That I think that issues are graver than we thought.
All right. Thank you very much, Franklin Cudjoe.